So we're about to have a wedding, a marriage celebration, and we're going to bring the pastors who will be conducting the ceremony, this celebration of John and Leigh. As your program, may I borrow somebody's program for a moment? The other program, the one that has my photo on it. There it is. Thank you. Okay. Happy couple. Okay, so marriage and celebration of Leigh, John and Leigh. The original idea was John Roger. And there's a version of the story that Leigh can tell you. So I'll let her do that whenever that occurs for her. But I'll just take a moment to let you know that in 1985, John Roger asked a question to me. Did you know that Leigh Taylor Young is interested in marrying you? While the interest might have crossed my mind at some point, because surely I knew Leigh is a very beautiful woman, and I still do. Young man, do you need some popcorn? Or get this man some popcorn. He needs some popcorn. And so she is a very beautiful woman, and later in that year, we did something we called the Peace Awareness Training 4, which was a journey to the East, including Assisi, Rome, the Vatican, Egypt, Israel. And on one of those flights, I think one of the longer flights, as I recall, to Cairo, I found myself sitting next to Leigh on the plane. And I had not discussed what John Roger had asked me about her interest in marrying me. But the first thing I said to her was, John Roger tells me you're interested in marrying me. So that should give you an idea of how direct I can be. And if anything, I think I'm more direct than ever. However, that was 1985, and this is now 2013. So it's taken a while to resolve. But it is to be resolved now. So I'd like you to come into a silence and listen and prepare for the beloved one.
Beloved one, I sing to thee right here now in this holy hour. Beloved one, I sing to thee like a hummingbird sings to a flower, like a mountain high and pure clear water flowing down to the sea. Does my love flow to thee, and the light of my soul guides my way home, and the light of my soul guides my way home. Beloved one, I sing to thee like the wind through the pines gently blowing. Beloved one, I sing to thee like the moon on the snow, diamond glowing, like a brilliant blue sky where an eagle flies, gently kissed by the sun. In the light we are one, and the love of my soul guides my way home, and the love of my soul guides my way home, and the love of my soul guides my way home, and the love of my soul guides my way home.
A little more to go. Did you want to help? This is yours.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We're ready for the light, huh?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Father, Mother God, we call ourselves forward now into the light of the Holy Spirit. We open our hearts to receive all that is good. We ask for the Christ, the mystical traveler and the preceptor consciousness. We are so grateful to gather in your name, knowing that this opportunity to be blessed, John and Leigh, is also the opportunity for all of us to be blessed. We come together in love. We come together to serve. We love you, God. We are your lovers. Berush Bishan.
So please be seated if you would like to. Well, look, we have a bride here. We have a groom here. And we also have your pastors. Not sure what's going on with the sound, but we'll see if we can get that working as beautifully and perfectly as we can. So we had the intention to have John Roger preside for our wedding and the blessing of our marriage. So in honoring that, then we look to who else could do the ceremony, and we look to one another, realizing we are both ministers who have presided over a few marriage celebrations. So we are the pastors. And the bride and groom. So this is a first. And it's a way of resolving our intentions to have John Rogers step in our own consciousness spiritually, so that we consider he's right here with us conducting this ceremony, as our beloved friend and traveler and a whole lot of other things, as was revealed earlier as something that he said about Lee's son Patrick, that his son's here. And so we're celebrating this day, and now we're stepping into our roles as the pastors, the ministers of this beloved occasion. It's going to be interesting to find how we talk to John and Leigh and work that dynamic out, but I'm very confident we'll be able to work that out. How about you?
I'm very willing.
So our first call, now that we've invoked the blessing of the light and the love, the holiness of this occasion, that we're moving into a celebration that you are our beloveds, that we are the beloved one who is in all of us, each of us, that we share this consciousness that is holy and sacred and joyful and playful, and that we're moving directly to celebration of this day. And how beautiful it is to be here in my church, in our church, that has so much meaning and depth, and to be able to share this with the miracles of this time, that we can be live and you can be witnessing, you can be with us wherever you are, that we welcome you with all our heart.
And I wanted to say thank you to everyone that in this church, that in my many years of being in this church, I'm always awed by the giving and the people who put this together with so little notice, which I think you heard. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it's an example of who we all are in our giving and our caring. So.
Thank you. So I'm going to speak to you of marriage, I guess a little Khalil Gibran moment here. That was a very impactful book in my life, and I consider that the effect of it ignited a process for me. And I'd like to say something to my sister. I don't know if she remembers this, but she gave me the prophet for my birthday, I think maybe when I was around 16. Do you happen to remember that? Okay, that's all right. Okay, yes, now she's remembering this. But at the time, I was like, what is my sister giving me this poetry book? What is this about? But in there is a place that talks about marriage. And it's interesting because I wasn't planning, so this was nowhere in my field, but I'm here now. And there was a part of it that talked about us and whoever is joining together as one in marriage, that we need to let what we have not grow in one another's shadows. So that I have my shadows, and I haven't seen your shadows yet. A shadowless being. And in my shadows, that I just encourage you to seek your light, to seek what nurtures you, that delights you, that you would have a moment if my leaves are full and somehow, in some way, you're in my shadow, that you would have understanding as you have, beyond my understanding. So this has shifted, so I'm in the groom right now. In case you didn't notice that. And I rejoice whatever we've come through to be here. I think you better take over. I'll get back to you.
I was praying upstairs that I would be able to speak. I'm still praying. The word that was coming up in my heart through the night and this morning and was the word flourish. So I saw a dictionary upstairs and I opened it and it said, growing vigorously and luxuriously. And I see us flourishing, that we have been through a lot of challenge, a lot of fires, and we're very worthy to stand here now. What I want to say to you is simple: I love you. And I give you my goodness. I give you my joy. I give you my willingness. There was a dream I had about the first week after we came together, and I want to share it because it tells my story a little bit. And in the dream, John came and offered his hand, and we were walking together on this beautiful garden path. It was like a Disney Song of the South visual. There were gentle birds tweeting and flowers and trees, and we're walking along this meandering path, and we just turned, no, it was this way. We turned, and all of a sudden before us was this immense, glorious, sudden mountain. And he turned to me and he gave me his hand and he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "I'm ready." And he took my hand, he started running up the mountain. And I was running as fast as I could, and I'd stumble and I'd fall, and he'd pause only long enough for me to get up, and then he'd start running again. And so that speaks to my willingness.
Great willingness.
Great willingness.
Yes.
To keep running by your side, holding your hand, as high as I can go with you. That's for now.
Well, we're still climbing, and my experience is that life and marriage is something, even when you're going up the mountain, that has ups and downs, and crevasses or crevices, however you pronounce that, for us to cross. And so I'm going to borrow something from Indiana Jones for a moment. And something I've said to you often, that it's a time of invisible stairs. It's a time of whatever we need that we do not see before us, and how that we would resolve it. That we've had moments that have given us pause, deep pause. We've had moments on the edge of the volcano, which is something John Roger talked to me on the first day I came to work with him. That living and working with him is like living and working on the edge of a volcano. And I still live and work with him, and so do you. And so our life has traversed the mountain that on occasion is a mountain volcano.
Yes.
And I've seen your courage, and I've seen your strength, and I've taken your wisdom and your love many times. And I'm going to take it even more. I'm going to take it for all you got.
Give you everything I got.
And I told you something very early. I love you the way you are. I know it hasn't always looked that way. So I appreciate your patience, your trust, your inspiration, your leadership, that you take my hand and you run up the mountain. And you encourage me to keep going up. I need it. I need your hand. I love your hands. And I know you love mine.
I do love your hands. You heard about that. I was upstairs listening, going, oh no, not that.
I didn't tell him everything.
I know. Thank you.
I have some chivalry left in me.
Oh, you are so chivalrous.
This is a spiritual marriage, that we are led by God. We have a deep devotion to our traveler, our beloved John Roger, his work, and that I welcome you, that you've already demonstrated that you have the right stuff over and over. You have everything I need to walk this world with you. And I'm grateful that we can pick an occasion like this, that God conspired to share it deeply and openly with the whole world, to stand in with whatever's needed. And I'm just reminded that we did check this legally to make sure this would be a legal marriage. So whoever's got the legal mind lit up, yes. Putative or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's blessed that I'm with you, that I have my own spiritual marriage that I came to as the traveler, that I share that life with you as the traveler, that you walk upright as my friend, my beloved, with all your gifts that God sent you to me, that you answer my prayers as a friend, as a companion, as a beloved one who walks to God. And that's my deepest resolution and commitment. It's my devotion and dedication and consecration that I make before God first. And I'm so glad that God shows me you are my beloved, that I can share this with for all it's worth. And I do.
I love you, and I do. And I just wanted to say that as I was entering this next level of our life together, the words came that this isn't for the faint of heart. But what an opportunity to step up to love marriage is. And I see it, if we take it correctly, that I want to take correctly with you, is to become stronger, more loving, to absorb, to care and love for everything, all of it, the good, the glorious, the challenge, the mundane, that your life will not go unnoticed because I notice. And it will not go unwitnessed because I'll be your witness. And I adore you. Thank you.
Are you ready for some rings?
I am. Do you have them?
I do. I need to check and make
Okay.
sure. So let's see what we got in this pocket over here.
I just want to add something.
Please. No rush.
No.
No rush.
Thank you for being as funny as you are. He's really funny. I don't know if everybody knows how funny he is, but I thank you for all the voices you have that are so funny, and when you punch me with sound effects, I really love them.
No bruises, no cuts. Lovingly punching.
Yes, and I love the play and the fun. I'm ready for the rings.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Leigh, with this ring I place upon your hand, I marry thee.
John, with this ring you place upon my hand, I marry thee.
Leigh, with this ring in the spiritual marriage to the traveler, I marry thee as my beloved wife.
John, with this ring placed on my hand, in the spiritual marriage with to the mystical traveler, I marry thee.
There's another ring.
John, with this ring, in the spiritual marriage with the mystical traveler, I wed thee.
Leigh, with this ring that you've placed upon my hand, in the spiritual marriage to the traveler, I wed thee as my beloved wife. So who's going to pronounce? Are we going to do this together? Or?
No, you pronounce first.
Okay. Leigh, Mrs. Morton, I pronounce you by the authority in this church of the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness in the state of California as my beloved wife.
John, my beloved husband, as Mrs. Morton to Mr. Morton. By the authority of this church, the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness, and the state of California, I pronounce you, John, my beloved husband.
What comes next?
A kiss! Yahoo!
There was just one little glitch, like in a fine Persian rug, there's always a stitch to demonstrate that in some way we're perfect, even with little things in life. I had a job as part of the New Year's resolution to talk to you about the labyrinth, but somehow you all got that information. There is a labyrinth outside as our first walk. Leigh and I are going to walk to the labyrinth. There's going to be some music playing as we saunter our way to the labyrinth. And that's something that if you would like, after we do our first walk on the labyrinth, you're welcome. It's there, and I'm sure there'll be somebody there who can help you if you need information about how to walk the labyrinth. And then if you happen to come out while Leigh and I are still walking, we'll be demonstrating what it is to walk on the labyrinth in our spiritual marriage and all that we are resolving in this walk together as, do you like Mr. and Mrs. Morton? Do you like that?
I do. I like it very much.
Okay, Maestro, give us some walking music.